Morning, students. Welcome to lesson 5. Today we will be defining people, objects, and places. Let's begin. Let's see. This is Alfred Nobel. He was from Sweden and he invented dynamite. How about this woman? Who is she? This is Marie Curie. She was born in Poland and she discovered the element radium. What about this? What is this? This is the Turing machine. It is considered the first computer. It was invented in 1936 by Alan Turing. This is the monument to the Battle of the Nations. Napoleon was defeated in this place in 1813. It is in Leipzig. How about these? These are the Franks. They were sent to the Nazi concentration camps during World War II. They didn't see each other again after the war. These are the Wright brothers. Their model was the first successful airplane. They flew for the first time in 1903. Now we're going to combine this information in order to define people, objects, and places. So let's see. We said, this is Alfred Nobel. He was from Sweden. He invented dynamite. We can combine this information in a better way. Pay attention. Alfred Nobel, who was from Sweden, invented dynamite. Here we are talking about Alfred Nobel. We add this information, okay? We say that he was from Sweden, and then we provide the most important information, that he invented dynamite. We can also say Alfred Nobel is the man who or that invented dynamite. He was from Sweden. In this case, what we are defining is the man. Here, we were defining Alfred Nobel. When we are defining a common noun, we can use who or that for people, for persons. Earlier we said, this is Marie Curie. She was born in Poland. She discovered the element radium. Now let's combine this information in a better way. Marie Curie, who was born in Poland, discovered the element radium. Here we are defining the proper noun Marie Curie. So we use who. That is not an option. But now pay attention to this. Marie Curie is the woman who that discovered the element radium. She was born in Poland. Here we are defining the woman, so we can use that. This is the Turing machine. It is considered the first computer. It was invented in 1936 by Alan Turing. The Turing machine, which is considered the first computer, was invented in 1936 by Alan Turing. So here we are discussing the Turing machine, a proper name, right? We are adding this information. Now, this is the machine which or that was invented in 1936 by Alan Turing. It is considered the first computer. Here we are defining machine, what we mean by machine. Here we are just adding information. This is the monument to the Battle of the Nations. Napoleon was defeated in this place in 1813. It is in Leipzig. Let's combine the information in a better way. This is the monument to the Battle of the Nations, where Napoleon was defeated in 1813. It is in Leipzig. So here we are adding information about this place, about this monument to the Battle of the Nations. It's extra information that it's not necessary, in fact, to really define the monument to the Battle of the Nations. Now pay attention to this. The monument to the Battle of the Nations is the place where Napoleon was defeated in 1813. It is in Leipzig. Here, with this information, we are defining the place. How about these people? This is what we said, right? Now, let's combine this information in a better way. The Franks, who were sent to the Nazi concentration camps during World War II, didn't see each other again after the war. Here we are adding information about the Franks, a well-known family. But now, look at this. The Franks are the people who or that were sent to the Nazi concentration camps during World War II. Here we are adding information to define who these people were. They didn't see each other again after the war. Now let's see. Do you remember the Wright brothers? Okay, let's combine the information now. The Wright brothers, whose model was the first successful airplane, flew for the first time in 1903. Pay attention to this. This is a different word, and we use it to make reference to their possession, their model. So, whose model was the first successful airplane? We're talking about their possession. The Wright brothers are the men whose model was the first successful airplane. They flew for the first time in 1903. Now, we can say that we use who or that to define people. We use which or that to define objects, processes, things. We use where to define places. And we use whose to express possession. Now, pay attention that sometimes we can use both who and that to define people, but in other cases we can't. The same with which and that. In some examples we can use them to describe objects, processes and things, but in some other cases we can't. Let's have a look at some examples. Albert Einstein was a German-born theoretical physicist, is famous for developing the theory of relativity. What's a missing pronoun? What's a missing word? Who. Very good. That is not possible here because Albert Einstein is not a common noun. Let's see this example. The Berlin Wall was a guarded concrete barrier physically and ideologically divided Berlin from 1961 to 1989. So what is the missing word? Which or that? Yes, we can use that in this example. Why? Because barrier is a common noun. We need to define it. So we can use that as well. Franklin D. Roosevelt was the American president, ended the Great Depression. What's a missing word? Who and that. That is possible here because president is a common noun. We're not defining, in fact, Franklin D. Roosevelt. We are describing president. He is the president who did this. Louis Armstrong was born in Louisiana in the United States, popularized jazz music. What's a missing word? Who. And it is the only option because here we are defining Louis. Now, how about this? Lucille Ball, TV comedy I Love Lucy, was a very popular show in the history of U.S. television, died in 1989 at the age of 78. What is the missing word? Whose. Very good. Here we are talking about one of her possessions. Whose is the only option here since we need to express possession. I Love Lucy was her TV comedy. Kensington Palace is a place Lady Di used to live with her children. Yes, where is the best option here, because we need to express the idea of place and location. We'll now move on to the practice activities on campus. Thank you for listening.